Hello and welcome to this new video on my channel about talk therapy versus hypnotherapy. My name is Dr. Jennifer Schlueter. I am your certified and trauma-informed hypnotherapist with a PhD in spiritual healing. So with talk therapy, right, mainly what you do is you talk about your shit. You talk about your problems. You are using the conscious mind, which is 5% of your brain. You're using the logical side. You're using the intellectual side. You are analyzing patterns. You are trying to get down to the bottom of it, and you're trying to understand what is causing you certain emotions, certain patterns, certain problems or issues in your life, right? That is therapy. Now with hypnotherapy, on the other hand, all that hypnotherapy is, for those of you who don't know, is simply therapy in a relaxed state of mind. And I'm saying therapy because we use therapeutic approaches, or we use therapeutic methods or tools to get you to a beautiful outcome, to get you to your goals and to help you achieve something. However, everything is being done in a relaxed state of mind. And because of that, you are going into your subconscious, which is where 95% of your brain is, which is what we act from 95%. So 95% of your brain is actually your subconscious. That's where all the patterns are stored. That's where all the memories are stored. It's like the memory bank of your brain, of your body, so to say, right? This is hypnotherapy. So we're working with intuition. We're working with your subconscious. We're working with your emotions. We're working with what's stored in the body, not in the mind. And because of that, let's say when you come to a therapist or to a hypnotherapist with trauma, right? A therapist can only help you to the point where you remember, where you have conscious memory of what happened, whether it is a little t or a big T, meaning little trauma such as someone, said something stupid to me at primary school or kindergarten or whatever, or my sibling did something to me, and big T trauma is your, abusive parents' relationships, or your SAs, or your other stuff, right? So with hypnotherapy, you can actually access the memories that you cannot consciously access anymore, or that you have prohibited yourself to access because it's going to get such a crazy response from your body and from your mind to retrieve the memory again, that consciously you don't want to remember it, you don't want to think about it, you have forgotten about it. But with hypnotherapy, you can actually remember up to the point of your birth, before your birth, or even in a past life. That's what hypnosis helps you remember, is all of that. So you access not only 5% as you are with talk therapy because you're in your conscious mind, but you can actually access 95% of your memories, brain patterns, whatever it is that you have stored, you can access that with hypnotherapy. Now some people are going to say, you don't have to remember the memory of the trauma that has caused you your reactions. And I say, yes, of course you don't have to remember. However, if you remember with a guided practitioner, with someone who is professionally trained at guiding you through the shit, accessing the memory is not going to be as scary, and then releasing the memory together with that guided practitioner can be incredibly powerful, relieving from your body, with which we're going to get into the next point. Because with talk therapy, we access things on a conscious level. We don't go into the body. We only access things with your mind, with your logical mind, with everything that your mind can access, memories, patterns, traumas, whatever. However, because in hypnotherapy, we do this with your subconscious and with your body. In hypnosis, there are several techniques that help your body release old stuck emotions, release trauma, release memories, release everything that you need to release. We have techniques that will help you release things that your body has stored, trauma that your body has stored. So after you come to us, your body has a different reaction to the trauma, a different trauma response. To if your trauma is re-triggered, so to say, then your body will have a different reaction. So what do I mean by that? I mean, for example, if you have been robbed on a street corner, you go to your talk therapist, you talk about it, you talk about it, you talk about it, you talk about it, until there's nothing left to talk about. And then when you go into hypnotherapy, okay, you may, if you've forgotten the memory, then you will remember if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But you'll remember the memory. And we release all the emotions that were stored during the time of the robbery, for example. And we will release the physical response that your body is giving because of that trauma. We will help you release that as well. So in case you go to the same street corner where you have been robbed, and because you've only talked with your talk therapist about it, you're still getting scared, you're still getting that physical response, you're still like tensing up, and the therapist may have given you calming techniques such as take a deep breath, breathe 3 times, do the box breath, do whatever, and you're just breathing through it, but you're still having the response. In hypnotherapy, we can get rid of that response. I'm not saying every hypnotherapist is trained to do that. I'm not saying everyone can do that with every single memory. I'm saying that if you are with a trained professional who's been doing this for years, who can do that, who is trauma informed, all of that stuff, we can help you relieve the trauma response so your body doesn't tense as much, or even completely release it, because in hypnosis we are also trained to work with the body, not just with your mind. Your result from talk therapy would be you can understand your trauma, you can name it, you can analyze it, you can say, oh, because of my parent who had an avoidant attachment style and who was a narcissist and who was this and this and this, I am now in relationships who are like this and this and this and this, blah 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 blah. Oh, because my dad would always tell me to be quiet, and this is why I am not confident, this is why I don't speak up, this is why I don't raise my voice, this is why I'm not confident on social media, You can analyze all of this shit, and sometimes for some people this works and it will help you change your behavior. But in hypnotherapy, and this is where I think the power of hypnotherapy lies, even after just a single session, if you've worked on this, like whatever has caused you to behave in a certain way, right? You can change that behavior within 1 session. Because you don't continue to talk about what your parent has done or your classmate or your friend when you were little. No. We do that once, we release it, and you have a changed behavior. We can also install new behaviors into your subconscious. And installing new behaviors into your subconscious is more powerful than doing it while you're in your conscious state of mind, because in your subconscious it's installed right away. It's like installation has happened, done, you're changing the behavior. In your conscious mind, it's like, okay, so I want to have this new behavior. Okay, I get it, that I need to do that. Okay, that I'm doing it. But it doesn't feel right. Maybe tomorrow I'm not going to do it. No. Like there's way too much intellectualizing, thinking, criticizing, judging for this behavior, where in hypnotherapy, shit can change within 1 session. And this is why I have clients say, wow, I was in therapy for 20 years and I have not done what I did after 1 session with you. This is why I have therapists send their clients to me, and then the clients report back to the therapist, and the therapists are like, this was like 5 or 10 years of therapy here, what you did in 1 session. This is the power of hypnosis. I don't want to tell you what to do, but all I'm saying from my own experience as well, how powerful it can be. In therapy, you would use awareness and coping tools. Meaning, okay, I'm aware now that I'm reacting in a certain way. I'm aware that I'm crying. I'm aware that I'm feeling sad. I'm aware that I'm feeling frustrated or angry. And then you get coping tools such as, okay, deep breath, 3 times, la 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 la. And then you are going to go into a situation differently after you've calmed down your nervous system, after you breathe 3 times or 5 times or however many, or your therapist tells you to tap or tells you to do something else. You get coping tools so that you can cope with the situation that arises. In hypnotherapy, we work with not only awareness and coping tools, yes, we do that too, but we also work with emotion. So like I said, we're going to release the emotion out of your body so that your body doesn't even have that inside of it anymore. And so your emotion will not even trigger any behavior in you. Your old emotion that you have from like years and years and years and years back that was stored because of a trauma that happened, it will just not be there anymore. So you don't have that same reaction. We work with your intuition so that if you find yourself in a situation that you've never been in and that you don't know how to react to or how you want to react to, we strengthen that intuition, that internal guidance system of yours, the wisdom and the knowledge that you have already inside of you. We strengthen that so you can react in any situation with the best outcome possible, with the best knowledge, guidance that you have from within you possible. We strengthen that intuition. We also work with guided imagery. And I know that in therapy, people do that as well. So sometimes we use a story or we use guided imagery to get our point across. That's being done all over in therapy as well as in hypnotherapy, right? So that's being done everywhere. We just use an image to get a point across. And that is powerful because our brain loves stories. Not sometimes. Our brain loves stories. Our brain loves imagery. Our brain loves and understands and sometimes implements things better when it's told in the form of a story rather than just being analyzed and criticized and judged and taken apart and all of that. No, just share a story. Just share a story and your brain will love it and will then, from then on, make different decisions because it has heard that story or it has been given the guided imagery. What I like to do is I give my clients a spirit animal, which then later they can look up the meaning of that spirit animal, and they're always so frazzled and so surprised what the spirit animal actually means for them because it's always 100% spot on. And then I also like to give them a wise figure or a wise anything, a wise being that comes into the session to give them wisdom and knowledge as well, which is very powerful. But what I like to do most is to really get my clients into the future, being their future self, knowing what it feels like to be their future self, knowing what they look like, knowing what they feel like, knowing what their energy is like, knowing their habits, what they think, how they feel, how they act. This is really, really powerful because it is not only giving them guided imagery, it is also powerful because have you ever heard about being the Lulu is the Salulu, right? Team being the Lulu is the Salulu. We are the team that knows we can manifest whatever the fuck we want. We can create whatever we want. So in order for us to do that, we know we have to feel like our future self, act like them, do the things they do, change the habits to the habits that they have. We have to do that. And so in hypnosis, in relaxation, we can access that easily and effortlessly. And then I help my clients see that they're already their future self. They already have the wisdom and the knowledge that they have from their future self inside of them, which is super, super powerful. And this guidance can happen better in relaxation than simply when you are with a talk therapist, just close your eyes. Oh yeah, think of your future self, huh? No, when you're in relaxation, you're accessing 95% of your brain, which is giving you so much more than the 5% of your brain that you're actually accessing in your conscious mind. So with 95% of your brain power, you can do so much. You can imagine so much better. You can feel so much better because we also, in hypnosis, hypnotherapy, we activate the senses. We activate your sense of seeing, hearing, feelings, tasting, smelling, all the senses, even your sixth sense, right? We activate all of that. We work with all of that. And in order for us to manifest something, in order for us to create the future that we want, we need to feel something with all of our senses. Smell it, taste it, feel it, hear it, see it. If we can do that as often as we can, and if we get the practice in hypnotherapy and then later do it by ourselves, we can manifest quicker than ever. And that's why I've had clients become pregnant after a single session, manifest their dream partner after just a few sessions. That's why I've had clients who doubled their profit after just one session, or clients who manifested their dream job or dream career after one or a few sessions. Because we create the dream life in a relaxed state of mind with all of our senses, with 95% of our brain capacity. Done. works so quickly. And that's why in therapy, so many people say after therapy, like, I understand now what this has caused me. I understand why I'm reacting the way that I'm reacting. I understand why I feel these emotions. I understand why I always attract certain type of people. I understand why I have a pattern with money or health or relationships or whatever, right? So I understand is the key phrase that a lot of people say when they finish therapy or when they are in therapy. When you're in hypnotherapy, what people tend to say is, I feel different. Something inside of me has shifted. It has changed. Which, to me, I prefer that. But like I said, I'm not going to take away your decision between talk therapy and hypnotherapy. I just want to tell you the difference about it. So for me, something has shifted inside of me and I'm a different person after a hypnotherapy session or after more sessions is the most beautiful compliment that I can receive as a hypnotherapist. And I have gone through myself. Like after a single session, right? I literally quit my job to travel the world and work online. I've made the decision. Something inside of me was different. It felt different and I was so confident that I'll be able to do that. And I did. So yeah, these are the main differences between talk therapy and hypnotherapy. And choose whatever it is that you want. Make sure you do it with a therapist or practitioner or hypnotherapist or hypnotist who you actually like, who is competent, who is professional, who knows their shit, who knows what they're doing, and who allows you to step into your own power. Because if you want to see lasting changes, right, you cannot come to someone who's only going to be telling you advice or who's only going to be telling you what to do or whatever. No. Look for someone who's helping you to step into your own power. But I'm going to make a whole different video on this one, on how to find the perfect hypnotherapist for you, the perfect hypnotist, the perfect person to work with, the perfect practitioner, because you deserve the best and nothing but the best. So this is my only recommendation here. And for now, I hope if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe and leave me a comment with any question, and also like this video. Until next week, see you.